Unspoken. Today, our guest is Mark Odenore. I've been talking about him on our platform for several weeks now, and I'm glad and blessed to have someone like this in our midst. You've known how he's grown his businesses. We've talked about how he's developed mindset to do different things in business. So today I am going to introduce Mr. Mark Odenore.
Thank you, OLLAH. First, I'd like to appreciate you giving me the opportunity to, come on your platform and to reach out to those who my story would help, and those who, I'd say they probably somewhere where I was before, and they're not sure what to do. I'd say undecided, sitting on the fence.
Yeah.
I believe at the end of the day, through my story, through my journey, I should be able to, engage them and help them make that final decision to get off the fence and do something about it.
Yeah.
Like you said, you've already introduced me. My name is Mark Odenore, and I am an entrepreneur. I am a British Nigerian by blood and birth entrepreneur, and also I am a US resident. Because I also operate businesses in these countries.
Definitely I know you're a businessman, or I didn't want to, jump into the discussion first. I want you to take a moment to see how you could help our viewers, most especially in the areas of the mindset of an entrepreneur. We read things, we go on YouTube to read about entrepreneurship and things like that. But majority of us, we don't take that step. We just look at it and we look at personal interest. You think about, I can do it, but you make a statement or to step to do it, but you get a little bit, failure, and then you kind of like, I can't. So what made you to think that you could do business? I've written on a lot about you, and you've been, of course, been a mentor to me. But what, when you were growing up, that you knew that, this is what I'm going to do?
Okay, OLLAH. It's one key thing here. For me, I'm a man of faith. I'm a Christian. Okay.
Yep.
And I've always believed
definitely
that I have
the
mind of Christ, that creative mind. I started quite early. I started really early. I started off as a barber. Okay. And along the way, there's been failures, but I never gave up. You fail, you go back, refired, and come back all fired up. Should I talk about how I failed in businesses?
Of course.
Yeah, maybe that would help. Look, with business, stop. I would encourage our listeners, our viewers, to stop thinking. Thinking starting from the top. As a business person or anyone who wants to go into business, you need to start with what you have. From where you are. For those who went to business school, they teach you things like MVP. Use your minimum viable product when you start. Okay. So the failure is minimal. It's not as heavy that it would, crush you. I'll tell you a little story. When I started off as a barber, I knew I had the barbing skills, and I was doing it at home, cutting a lot of my friends, neighbors, classmates. In fact, I was paying for my, school shorts and uniform. from the barbing proceeds. And then one of my class teachers, he was a French teacher. He saw my skill. He set up a barbing shop and engaged me. Said, okay, after school hours, come and work in the shop. So whilst working in the shop, he realized I was cutting hair at home. Guess what happened? He fired me. And each time I kept...
Well, because you developed different skills.
No, because I was barbing at home. I was meant... Okay. Now, since I'm a barber, I should only work with him and not do outside business. Yeah. But guess what? He sacked me, and he made sure he gave me a few strokes of the cane every time I come into the school premises.
Strokes?
Yeah. So, but that didn't stop me. As soon as I walk into the premises, do you know what happens? They take me to the office. Behind you, give me a few strokes. That's for what you did yesterday. But that didn't stop me. In the end, I took all his clients.
Whoa.
I reduced price. So you see, in business, you have to learn to fight. And you have to learn not to give up. You have to appreciate small things.
But in terms of the fighting, did it come from your family, your dad, your mom, or relative that that you've seen that, okay, this person, the way he goes, the way he's running, the way he does his thing, I want to be like him, or there's a spirit in the family that that is entrepreneurship mindset.
I would say the entrepreneurship part of me came from my mom's side, because she was a trader. She started off as a petty trader.
That's it.
But I come from a family where, irrespective of what we go through, we plow on.
Yeah.
We keep push and we never give up. Often when failure comes to mind, there's always the quote I remember, which is, quitters never win, and winners never quit. So there must be something there. That is why the winners are always there. So I always believe, if I am consistent, if I am persistent, one day my story will change. So I've always, I've tried my hands on so many things which have failed. I've tried my hand in, partnership. I did business with a friend. That thing, an automobile business where we were selling car accessories.
Yes, you talked about
as far back as 1993, 94. That failed because it was, we had different, dreams, So these things happen. If you can start off alone, yes. Now it's easier to start business compared to when I started. Them days, we had no platform to build websites. Now websites, you could get them done for nothing. You could sit from your house and run a successful dropshipping business, which is selling goods online, e-commerce. Even if it's just preparing CVs only, that's a business now. Even gossip sells. So there's so many things you can do now compared to how it was. You might be able to just sell shoes and clothes on Facebook and Amazon. So these things are different because now you're more equipped with technology. To get you closer to those who will buy your goods. But also, though, whatever you want to do, you have to research, which is key. If you're going to go into business, you have to research the product what you're about to sell, or what you're about to the service you're about to provide. Profit, money should not be first. That's where people make mistake. What you should propose is value. Value proposition will give you money. You would make money afterwards. But just offer quality, good service. If it's one, that one is one. You see, the fact that people want to go into business and make money, no. You might be working and have a little bit of side hustle, okay? And you use your work to sponsor your dream. You're basically financing the dream. Before my business, grew to where we are today, where we have locations in the UK, US, and Nigeria, which is in Africa, and we're still looking at growing further to other parts of the world. It did not start one day. At one point, we had just one client, and it was one company that gave birth to the others. So all my businesses did not start at once. Okay?
Yeah.
For instance, my first UK business started in 2006, September the 8th. That's 15 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay? That company currently employs over 126 staff every day. Okay?
Oh.
And that company gave birth to the commercial office space business, which now has locations in the UK and the US. And that gave birth to the laundry services company. So you have to start from somewhere.
Yeah, but going back, you said profit and value.
Yeah.
Profit is something is everybody chase, first of all. Like our our own, definitely. But the thing is that, how do you then bring that value that then gives you the profit? Because what you're saying is, how do I make this product, turn it down, and make it 2, make 5, 10? How do people develop that mindset to do business for value?
Okay. Thank you, OLLAH. Take it this way. Okay. When someone wants to buy from you, okay, they expect to get value for their money, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're coming up with a product. You come up with a product. The next thing is price. You want to present your product with an appealing price, a price that would make 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, 4, 5, 6, up to 10. They start buying from you. Okay? 1 person buys, they give you a very good review, good feedback, because the margin you make, because whatever you buy or wherever you create yourself, you spend some time making it. You spend, either raw materials or materials, putting them together.
Yeah.
So that costs money. So in the end, in putting one item together, you're then able to say, okay, this pen, I spent $11 or 11 pounds putting the pen together. So I'm going to sell the pen $12 or $13. Okay? The margin is small, but if the turnover, the amount of pen you sell often increases. Say if you move from selling 5 pen a week, which is $5 or 5 pounds, okay, profit, okay, to 15, 20, 1,000. So for every 1,000 pen so that's £1 or $1 times 1,000. So with time, when you get known, you probably would that be looking at how you could reduce the cost of production, and then your profit margin goes up. But if you go into business thinking, I want to just do this, I want to make hair, I want to do this, I want to be making £40 on top of each product, you'll be disheartened, or disappointed, I would say, where no one buys from you, or probably 1 person buys, paying fully, pay you for it, they won't come back. And then where your products are not competitive, you've actually failed. So you have to pitch your business right. Yeah. That's why the only way you could pitch your business right is by not putting profit right at the top. Profit shouldn't be. It should be value, because people pay you and they expect to get value for their money.
Yeah.
Where you don't get value for your money, you're not happy. You won't go back. And if asked for a review, you would, you give them, a review from the mind.
Using review now, the world has gone,
so
internet.
You see,
and,
that's and people read your reviews.
Yeah.
Before I buy any product or go on, use any service, I go through their reviews just to be sure I'm not going to be one of those who will come back and cry.
One of the things that struck me in your bio was the second line of your statement, your mission statement, and you said, "We will be consulting." It felt me like, okay, I know you are a positive person, but for you to say we will be consulting throughout, which is Africa America, Europe. You know, how did you just like, okay, we will become. It hasn't happened, and I know, yes, you are. We're relating with our audience as well, and I know, yeah, you've been like into it, but what happened? That kind of mindset, like, okay, we will be consulting. Give me an idea.
OLLAH, look, if you're going to go into business, I know you have to be motivated. You have to be positive, which is key. Because that positive vibes help. But also one thing you need to know as well is you need to learn to paint pictures. I'll explain. You have to paint the picture of the future you want to see. You have to paint that picture. And I tend to use the term "we" often. I use it a lot because I've never viewed from day one. I've never, even when I set up my first barbering shop, I made sure I got another employee almost immediately. I believe in the power of reproduction, where you have to get
compounding.
You got another one. You have to grow, you have to give birth to another associate. You can't do it all alone because you need people to move with you far, But the thing is, you have to paint a picture, and that picture is the picture of your future, okay? Because the pictures you paint are the pictures you eventually, begin to experience, begin to feature in. Because right from the onset, you call my mom now and ask her, what does your son often talk about? Even when there was nothing, I would say to her, Mom, don't worry. When I get a private jet, it's all about all those things. Look, say it.
You get it.
As you want it, and you will receive it. It works, and it's worked for me. Now it's so strange that whilst I'm still thinking about it and I'm still writing it down, it's already coming to fruition. Yes, I agree, I'm a man of faith, and I come from a family. My father is actually called a man of faith because he believes everything is possible with God. That's notwithstanding, you have to believe, because you have to believe in the product. Just say it this way. You go to the doctors, they give you paracetamol. You haven't to believe that paracetamol will cure your headache.
Yeah.
You don't know if you were just giving chokes or, something else.
Yeah.
But that's what faith does. So it's, in running your business, you need to be faith-filled. And then you need mentors. You need to always spend some time studying biographies of those who've gone before us, who are doing quite well. Okay? And then, because that would help you as a guide. It would help you to shaping the direction of whatever you want to do. Because it could be just one word that would change everything for you. So that's why you need to often listen to mentors and read their books, and over the last few years, I've spent a lot of time reading various books, reading various biographies. Mm-hmm. I read great ones because so as to decide which one I want to be like.
Okay.
You see, I want to be like this, I want to be like that. That's why you spend some time reading. That's why I read about them. And I take things away from these books, these materials, that, I found useful along the line. So it's quite key.
Say, for example, you are a 9-to-5 person, you have a job, but you want to scale into that entrepreneurial stage. As an entrepreneur,
how do
you then
how do you cross
basically, because you don't want to like jump and then you get there and then you see the fire and then you jump back again.
Or you might not have a job to go back to.
Exactly.
Oh, it's I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's a decision, one has to make at some point. But I used to work. I used to do 9 to 5 or 9 to whatever time. I get to leave my work and go home. But whilst I was there, I saw my employment as the sponsor of my dream. So basically, I felt I was in college and I would graduate at some point, to be the person I want to be. So what I did was I learned to work extra hours, not extra hours for my employer. I finish off at my place of work, and then now spend another 5 or 6 hours on trying to work on my business. And even when I'm on holidays at work, that's not only holidays for me to rest. You have to sacrifice. You have to be prepared to have late nights, to read through emails received, to prepare maybe quotes or proposals, or to respond to a client request. No matter how much. And your fun time would suffer. You wouldn't have that time to do all of that. It's sacrifice. There's no two ways about it. There's no magic. You have to sacrifice. If you don't sacrifice for what you want, like they say, you become the sacrifice yourself. So you have to learn to sacrifice. And then, yes, with time and patience, your side hustle begins to pay you more than your 9 to 5. And then, it's time to switch allegiance or switch, from one, employer A to your own business.
Okay. The side hustle. If you're doing side hustle, but you are not getting whether the profit, whether the business or the clients that you have, what then will you have to do?
Look, then you have to go back to the drawing board, find out what's going on. Okay. You have yourself some honest questions. There are businesses we find ourselves doing on the side, which already we know are failing businesses, or they're not, they're not actually what people want. No, it's not a niche business, but yeah, we keep on doing it. When you start designing your business website the way you want it to look, there's a problem. So first you have to ask, this product, who am I going to sell it to? If you don't carry out proper research before you start off your business, just because you assume people would love to buy food from you and you go into catering, you might discover that it's only you and probably your partner that loves your cooking. Yeah. It's not that it's good enough for the public.
Yeah.
So these are the sort of things people, need to consider before they go into business. They need to be sure that this business, is it a good concept? Ask questions, test the water. That's what we call beta stage. You get 1 or 2 people to try it, and try to see if, they'll buy your product. And if not, go back to the drawing board and get something done.
So, they have the product now. They have unique selling points. But the tenacity to hold a 9 to 5 job and the business, how do you manage it? Because if you have a partner or your wife is there, you still have other curriculum things to do. So how do you then see it through? Because that's my own reason. Because say for example,
I think starting a business because you believe your wife would run it with you to make it work, it's not a good idea. You have to discuss it with them first, because they also have you can't just introduce something foreign. There is no shortcut to success. It's a very long road.
Yeah. Because
the price to pay. Look, you cannot eat your cake and have it. There's always the price to pay. Look, without pressure, no diamond. You have to make those sacrifices. The sacrifices of sleepless nights.
So how do people are risk averse?
Oh well, you just have to take that. You have to. You fail, you fail. You succeed, you succeed. It's like going to an island with just one boat, and you get to the island and you burn your boat, and there's no going back. These are some of the decisions some of us had to make. But like I said, we live in a better era whereby you can set up a business and it's online based, and people order the items online, and you get the returns, you process the orders, or you follow them up at your convenience, or from an app on your phone and all that. But it's different from those days when we started. Those days where you finish at 5 and you're running all the way from North London to East London to come and spend a few hours in your office, to deal with all the things that's come up, and then go home to prepare for work the following day. It's sacrifice. You have to sacrifice something, because the problem now is, not everyone wants to really sacrifice, and they're scared. If you're scared, business is not for you. You have to put that behind you and take that bold step and say, you know what? It will work. But before you do that, good research, test the waters, try out with a few people, sampling, packaging, whatever you're doing. Once you begin to get reasonable orders, make sure your finances are in order, and then you're good.
Thank you, Mr. Mark. This segment is over at this moment, Unspoken. We come back in about 1 minute. Unspoken people, unspoken things. With my guest today, Mr. Mark Odenore. It's been a pleasing pleasure to have you on the platform again. This segment, we just want to round up and then talk about your mindset. You've been a founder of S.B.N. You've been a founder of Pick and Drop. You've been a founder of Jobcentre Nigeria and other different consulting firms. In one sentence, how do you describe yourself and your mindset?
Can do mindset. I can do it. I can. There's no, it's not possible. I can.
Even if you have the limitations in front of you.
Yeah, I can first. There's a popular saying, which I guess you know, Richard Branson. He said something. If someone gives you or makes a business proposal or an offer to you, say yes, then go and figure a way out how to do it.
I like that one.
Most times I had to learn on the job. I mean, many years ago, there have been so many things asked by our client, even when we were not ready.
And you just say,
I just said, oh yes, we can do it. Yeah, okay. Then I go figure it out.
So, and that's not like you're lying.
No, I had to add it. You must be prepared to be ready to get goals. Be a goal-getter. You must be ready. If you're not ready, just stop sitting on the fence. If you sit on the fence for too much, it will come down, and then there'll be nothing for you. So you just have that can do, but you don't develop that over time. It's your association and the information you take in. I often say to people, the sort of books you read, the sort of information you take in is like you taking multivitamins, and it shows on the outside. The way you speak, the way you talk, the way you do things, it becomes different. So once you word loaded, you're ever ready. You must remember the famous ever ready battery. You just be like them. You just be ready.
Okay.
You have to remember this. One of the scouts, the scout motto: be prepared. You have to. Apart from being a Boy Scout, but that's not just it. You yourself.
Yeah.
Because where you fail, it starts from yourself. So you have to can do. I can do it. I mean, when we met, the first time we met, you ever met me in this, it wasn't like this.
Yeah.
I was still speaking the dream. But you've seen part of the dream. I mean, where we are today is one of our offices in London.
Yeah.
You know, when you rang earlier, you went to the head office.
Yeah.
But I said, no, I'm at the other branch.
Yeah.
See, that's growth. You know, I look at all sorts of things. You have to grow. You have to make an effort. You know, don't get greedy. You know, sometimes you win some, lose some, but don't lose sleep over the ones you've lost. Just keep pushing.
Yeah. Okay. So, yes, you have a positive mindset.
Yeah.
But has there been? Definitely, is going to be happening anyway. But the failures that you've had, yes, you would make it into positive things, you know, to make it good. But has there been a time that, okay, you've been like, no, this one, I need help?
You're trying to stretch me. You're trying to find out, you know, it can't be just Mr. Perfect. No one is perfect. I'll tell you one thing. We've all had very difficult times in business. The only one thing that I've not been able to change is when my dad passed. I couldn't bring him back. Okay, that was impossible. That had to do with God. But, you know, as long as it's man-made, there is a way. You know, I know I might have, passed on this scripture to you several times. 1 Corinthians 10:13.
Yeah. I have. In fact, you bought me.
There's no temptation.
A journal about, you know, and you know, that journal, you know, writing it, you know, it has made this to life. Yeah.
I'm happy these things work. That's what positive words do. You see, there's no temptation that's uncommon to mankind. Just know that. So challenges will come, but be prepared to take care of it. We've had situations in one of my businesses where we were owed over $250,000 by a major client, and that money was never paid to today. I had to write it off. When you start, I want to borrow Donald Trump's word. You have to think bigly. You know, I lost a lot of sleep, lost a lot of hair before I wrote off £250,000. Yeah, so look, but that does not mean I should close shop. I still have to go back and wait for the customer, you know, to come. Because in no time, that's, you know, we've moved past that now. That's 2015. It was a very challenging year for one of our biggest business, you know, but we've gone past that. We focus more on the future. We go back to the drawing board. We re-strategize, position our business so well that no one gets to owe us that sort of money again. You know. So these are the sort of things you do. So you have to be ready.
So how was it to evolve from that place? Because, like you said,
we grew out of it. We had to look. We started with one client, my first business, and I felt one day this one client might leave me. So why don't I replicate, get at least 40 clients that look like this, that we could get the same income? That's how I did it, you know. And then we did it from that 40. I said, why not grow 80? You see where I'm coming from? So you have to be ready to grow out of every situation you find yourself in business. COVID was a very difficult time. We had a lot of empty offices, empty buildings everywhere. But guess what? We moved our business to online and grew what? Our client base online. So as to what? Replace the revenue from the actual physical. And now we're gradually returning back to the physical. So now we have the physical and the online-based clients. So you have to be, and again, when you don't know, you go learn. I had to do a short course with, Brunel Business School, you know, during the COVID period. Funny enough, I was studying. You know, we had, virtual courses, and I picked that from the course, and I knew that I needed to make a few changes. And those changes actually helped.
Okay, that leads to the next question. For audience purpose, what are the basic books that you can read that would help basic mindset?
The first one, if you want to go into business, you need to understand business finance. One of the first book I got is called Understanding Business Finance. Okay, and the second book is by Sir Ronald Cohen. He wrote the book The Second Bounce of the Ball. The second bounce of the ball is good for the businessman's mindset. And few biographies which helped me. Losing My Virginity by Richard Branson, quite good. And I follow a very one of my mentors. I follow him, I listen to him, I read about him. His name is Strive Masiyiwa. He's the founder of Econet.
Oh yeah,
Strive Masiyiwa. He's very good. He said something many years ago, which after that statement, I had a reset of how I do business. He's also growing. He's good. I mean, just this year, he became the first Black African billionaire in England. He's in the rich list this year. Yeah, over £1 billion. What? You need to follow, these people. You need to read about them. You need to understand their mindset. You need to begin to think like them. Because like I said, you need two things to be successful: information and association. Through association, you connect and you collect. Through information, you get what? You get transformed. You get transformed. It's that transformation that really impacts in your business. Look, business is not about grammar. Lots of words. Basic words can get you where you want to go to. As long as your product is good and what you propose, like I said earlier, your value proposition is genuine, trust me, you do well.
All right, thank you. Last word. You've talked about value, you've talked about different things, but to wrap it up, you talked about a little bit about your faith, which, it has been helpful for you. What can you give to this platform?
Faith-wise, I'll tell you to go read your Psalm 2 verse 8. It's quite plain, it's very direct. Just have to do that. Read your Psalm 2 verse 8 and you know what I'm talking about. Most times, when we start or when we're starting business, I realize from that scripture that I usually ask for small things, whereas God had bigger plans for me. That's why sometimes we pray and we miss it. So, know your Psalm 2 verse 8 and you're fine.
And that is what you want to, let our audience, unspoken people, to know.
Yes. That is solid and it's useful.
Direct.
It's all you need. It's raw. So whatever interpretation you want to make out of that scripture, it would get you somewhere. I learned it from Strive Masiyiwa. After reading that scripture, that verse, I had the system reset. And the resetting of the system is revealed and is evident everywhere you go, in our businesses, UK, in the US. We have no limits now. The sky is just the beginning.
Nice.
So first I want to, as I wrap up, I want to say thank you, OLLAH. Thank you for the opportunity to come on your platform. I'll be in the US in a day or two. I'm happy to do a Zoom.
Because I'm going to say that since you're leaving like that.
When I'm back in England again. We're quite busy in the US, so I'm not sure I'm reachable. Okay.
Yeah.
So
because
reach out to me. I'm happy to talk to you.
Because what you've done now is basic. You've given us the basic
That's just
things.
the entry.
Entry. Because
I mean,
I know there's vision, there's mission, there's this. I just wanted to bring the foundation, then we'll start bringing up.
Maybe one of your other segments, I get the opportunity to tell people about my story because
Exactly.
Hearing my story also would help you. So what I would say to you, they should, hang in there, keep following Unspoken Words platform, keep reading, stay tuned, so that they know when the next one. Once we meet again and we get to talk about my story, a little bit of my story will be in my book. Trust me, it will be a bank. But
when is your book coming up?
I don't know. I've been working on it for a few years now.
Nice to talk about you, Mr. Mark. I appreciate that you've come on this platform. Definitely will get you again on Unspoken. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, OLLAH.